Letter from Birmingham Jail.
I'm Clayton, and I'm Richie and Ted.
I'm the lawyer.
I'm Jailer.
I'm Martin Luther King Jr.
I'm Deanna, and I play narrator.
I'm Jane.
I'm Martin Luther King voiceover.
I'm the rabbi.
I'm the first clergyman.
I'm Wanda.
I'm the reverend.
I'm the second clergyman.
In April 1963, Martin Luther King was arrested and placed in Birmingham jail. His crime was that he participated in a peaceful demonstration against the city's winters. He had joined a group to protest segregation. While in jail, he read a letter that published in the Birmingham News. 8 local clergymen, all white, had demanded that his demonstration end his demonstration. With nothing but the newspaper to write on, Dr. King began his response.
While confined here in Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement calling my present activities unwise and untimely. Since I feel that you are men of genuine goodwill and that your criticisms are sincerely set forth, I want to try to answer your statements in what I hope will be patent and reasonable terms.
Why did you come to Birmingham? You aren't from here. We don't need outsiders coming here to solve our problems.
I'm in Birmingham because injustice is here. I am compelled to carry the gospel of freedom beyond my own hometown. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Beyond that, I am here because I was invited here. I am here because I have ties through the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
Why Birmingham? Of all places, the demonstrations taking place in the city are deplorable and should be stopped at once.
It's unfortunate that demonstrations are taking place in Birmingham, but it is even more unfortunate that the city's white power structure left the black community with no alternative. Birmingham is probably the most thoroughly segregated city in the United States. Its ugly record of brutality is widely known. Black leaders tried to negotiate with city leaders, but the city leaders refused to negotiate.
Last September, our black leaders spoke to the city merchants. The merchants promised that if we stopped demonstrating, they would remove those awful signs, the ones that said whites only or no colors allowed. They promised to stop displaying those signs at lunch counters, restrooms, and stores. So we stopped holding demonstrations. Then we realized that we were the victims of broken promises. The few signs that had all been taken down were all put back up. Many other signs were never removed at all.
Once again, our hopes had been blasted. We knew we had to take direct action and lay our case before the conscience of the local and national community. We began a series of workshops of nonviolence. We repeatedly asked ourselves, are you able to accept the blows without retaliating?
Are you able to endure the ordeal of jail?
We chose the Easter season to put our direct action plan to use. Easter is one of the biggest shopping seasons of the year. We decided not to shop here in town while we also demonstrated in the streets. That would put pressure on the merchants. We made allowances for the mayoral election and didn't hold any demonstrations until after election day. We have behaved fairly and decently. We just asked for our civil rights.
Why direct action? Why sit-ins, marches, and so forth? Isn't negotiation a better path?
Were you not listening? We tried negotiating.
You people refuse to negotiate. You treat us like second-class citizens.
Nonviolent direct action seeks to create a crisis and dramatize the issue so it can't be ignored. I agree with your call in your call for negotiation. The purpose of our direct action was to open the door to negotiation.
The action you have taken is some time now. You just elected a new mayor and other city officials. Why didn't you give the new city administration time to act?
While the new mayor is a more gentle man than the old mayor, the fact remains that he is as much segregatist as the old one. It is a historical fact that the privileged groups seldom give up their privileges voluntarily. Freedom is never voluntarily given up by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. It's interesting that direct action is never well-timed. In the eyes of those who have never lived under injustice, we have always been told to wait. Wait is almost always meant never.
Are you through with that paper yet?
Certainly. Here you are.
Give me that.
We have been waiting for more than 340 years for our constitutional and God-given rights.
The nations of Asia and Africa are moving with jet-like speed toward gaining political independence.
Meanwhile, we creep at horse and buggy pace towards gaining
A cup of coffee at the lunch counter.
It is easy for you to say, wait, but when you have seen vicious mobs lynch your mothers and fathers at will and drown your sisters and brothers at whim, when you have seen hate-filled policemen curse, kick, and even kill your black brothers and sisters, when you have suddenly find yourself stammering as you try to explain to your little girl why she can't go to the public amusement park that she saw advertised on television because it is closed to colored children, when you have to come up with an answer for a 5-year-old son who asks, Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean? When you are forever fighting the sense of nobodiness, and then you will understand why we find it difficult to wait. There comes a time when the cup of endurance runs over.
I don't understand how a man of cloth could willingly break the law. You are in jail because you broke the law. How can you advocate breaking some laws and obeying others?
There are 2 types of laws, just and unjust. One is not only a legal but a moral responsibility to obey just laws. However, one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. An unjust law is no law at all. Any law that degrades human personality is unjust. A law that is inflicted on a people who are not allowed to vote is not just. Also, segregated statutes are unjust. They all give white man a false sense of superiority and the black man a false sense of inferiority. My crime was parading without a permit. That is, I participated in a peaceful march down the city street. There is nothing wrong with requiring a permit for a parade, but it is wrong if it is used to deny blacks in the First Amendment privilege of peaceful assembly and protest.
I still disagree that civil disobedience is necessary in order to bring change. It's just wrong.
The Boston Tea Party was a massive act of civil disobedience. Everything Hitler did in Germany was called legal, and everything the freedom fighters did was considered illegal. It was illegal to aid and comfort a Jew in Hitler's Germany. Had I been there, I would have disobeyed those laws. I would have done my best to help the Jews. Would you have done any different?
Look here, Mr. King. Your lawyer has come to see you.
How are we holding up, Dr. King? As well as can be expected under the circumstances.
I'll leave you two alone.
We hope to have you out of here in just a few days. You may want to consider this a 9-day vacation.
No thanks. Not much about a stay in jail can be considered a vacation, but I have managed to do a bit of writing. Did you bring
That pad of paper you asked for? Most surely. It's in here. Will this do?
Yes, this is just what I need from just the letter I've been writing.
If there's anything else you need, just let me know.
Your time's up.
If you need anything, just If you need anything, just let me know. I'll be in touch.
I appreciate it.
Your activity in Birmingham is extreme.
Dr. King, you are an extremist. I am disappointed that fellow clergymen see my nonviolent efforts as those of an extremist. I have tried to stand between the forces of complacency and of hatred and despair. I have said that we should neither do nothing nor we should react violent. There is the more excellent way of love and nonviolent protest. If this philosophy had not emerged, by now the many streets of the South would be flowing with blood.
I see no good in your demonstrations. You're just asking for trouble.
You've made your point. Let's put this all behind us. Go back to Atlanta where you belong.
The black community has many pent-up resentments and frustrations that must be released. So let us march. Let us make prayer and pilgrimages to the City Hall. Let us go on freedom rides and try to understand why we must do so. If your repressed emotions are not released in nonviolent ways, they will seek expression through violence.
Is that a threat?
That is not a threat, but a fact of history. Right now, we can channel our discontent into the creative outlet of nonviolent direct action. And you call this action extremist. I've never before written such a long letter. It would have been much shorter if I had been writing in a comfortable desk, but what else can one do when he is alone in a narrow jail cell, other than write long letters, think long thoughts, and pray long prayers? I hope that one day, soon, I will be able to meet each of you, not as an integrist or a civil rights leader, but as a fellow clergyman and a Christian brother. Let us all hope that the dark clouds of racial prejudice will soon pass away. May the radiant stars of love and brotherhood shine over our great nation.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. closed his letter with the words, "Yours for the cause of peace and brotherhood." He was soon released from jail. He continued to be a leader for the cause of civil rights. He was arrested 30 times for participating in the civil rights activities. He won the Nobel Prize in 1964. Though he was killed by a sniper in 1968, his dream of civil rights for all the people, no matter what color of their skin, did not die. He believed that unarmed truth and unconditional love would have the final word in reality. May it ever be so. The end.
Yeah.